If you want to get into CNC machining, Makera is Hacksmith approved.
I wouldn't call it a beginner CNC, but rather a beginner-friendly machine.
This is a very cool device.
I'm still impressed with the precision and strength of this machine.
Even though this is a smaller CNC machine, it's got a ton of amazing features.
If you want to get into CNC machining, Makera is Hacksmith approved.
I wouldn't call it a beginner CNC, but rather a beginner-friendly machine.
This is a very cool device.
I'm still impressed with the precision and strength of this machine.
Even though this is a smaller CNC machine, it's got a ton of amazing features.
If you want to get into CNC machining, Makera is Hacksmith approved.
I wouldn't call it a beginner CNC, but rather a beginner-friendly machine.
This is a very cool device.
I'm still impressed with the precision and strength of this machine.
Even though this is a smaller CNC machine, it's got a ton of amazing features.
All right. Hello, everybody, and good evening or morning or afternoon, depending on whatever time it is, wherever you are in the world. And thank you for joining us for another Makera live stream, everyone. It's good to be back. And my name's Jason Erdreich. I'm the Education Director for Makera, working with all of you to learn how to use our machines, our software, and Makerables, which is the theme for tonight. And as always, I'm once again joined by my good colleague here, Roelof. It's so good to see you. How you doing there over there?
Great to see you. Tuning in here from the other side of the world. My name is Roelof. For everybody that hasn't seen me or met me, I am the User Experience Director for Makera, and I also manage the tech support team. So I handle a lot of things, technical things around the machines, things like that. And it's great to be back. It feels like we haven't been here for a while.
Yeah, it's been a while. It's been a while.
We have some really cool and exciting stuff to show you guys. Yeah, it's great to be here. It's great to see you, Jason.
Yeah, last time was on this side of the world, but a bit away from me. I was with you at CES, of course, in Las Vegas, which is where we did our last live stream, a little special edition, right, from our booth in Las Vegas, which was pretty cool. And we were sitting side by side once again. But now you're here. You're on the other side of the screen.
Yeah.
Back to normal here, right? So
and less moving parts.
Yeah. This one, this one, hopefully, of course, I'm not saying that we're not going to run into tech issues, because even when you're in this nice controlled studio, things can go wrong. But it was a little bit easier to prepare for this one for sure. But yeah, listen, folks, like Roelof said, we got a lot of exciting things to talk about. Makerables, we'll give you an update on the Z1 and Makera Studio, and tons of giveaways too. So definitely stay tuned. The first thing we're going to talk about is our current sales. So we're celebrating the Spring Festival, and of course, also a huge celebration for the Chinese New Year. Anyone in the world celebrating that as well. So for the Spring Festival, it is from February 10th to February 27th. You can save up to 20% and get free gifts and things like that with any machine purchase, which is pretty cool. So tons of savings on the Makera website. You can, of course, use Makera points with your checkout, and you have the chance to win a lot of Makera points in tonight's stream. And for all of you live stream folks, we do have a special promotional code, which is Makera. So if you use the discount code Makera at checkout, you get another $100 off any order over $2,000. And yes, you can use that with our current sales and promotions. So you can kind of bundle all your savings together and save lots of things. So that's an exclusive live stream discount code right now for you to use. That is Makera with our spring promotion, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. And speaking of sales, we have one lucky customer. I think people might have actually forgotten about this, but we have, during our New Year's sale event, we're going to have one person that made an order during that time frame to have their order refunded. Now, this can be a value of an actual Carvera. This can be a value of, just a few tools. So it can go either way. We're very excited about this draw.
And it's actually folks who placed an order in the New Year's sale, and then also people who just subscribed and followed are also entered for gift cards too. So if you participated during this New Year's sale, like Roelof said, the savings could be anything from your $10 order, or I saw there were a couple of $7,000 orders and things like that could be refunded. So we're going to do that draw right now. To be clear, this is not something that the live stream folks are entering, right? So we are going to have lucky draws tonight during the live stream that you will all get to enter, and we'll talk more about that later on. These entries have already been selected from, again, the folks who participated during our New Year's sale. So you can see right here, I have all the information has been hidden, but there's 1,329 entries. Let's shuffle this around here a little bit. So I'm just going to push the shuffle button a bunch of times, but you'll see we have some like $80 orders, some gift cards in here for people who subscribed, a $5,000 order, right? And somebody right now is about to get that order refunded or win a gift card. So shuffle one more time and let's choose. So our lucky New Year's sale winner will be, who's it going to be? All right, $1,000 gift card to whoever this person is. This number here is the ticket number. So that's ticket 10, 1,075, $1,000 gift cards. That must have been a lucky person who subscribed and followed us during that order. So congratulations, you just won $1,000 gift card. And we have your email, so we'll just get in touch with you and we'll send that over to you. And again, that was just somebody who participated during our New Year's sale. So huge congratulations to you for winning, and Happy New Year, obviously. We do not have another one of these lucky sales going on right now with our Spring Festival sale. There's not a lucky draw, but there will be more lucky draws in future sales events. So definitely stay tuned, where just like this on a live stream, we're going to pick one lucky person who interacted with us during that sale, and you're going to get everything refunded or a gift card, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, exciting stuff. Congrats. So just moving on, let's give you a little Z1 update. I know everybody's anxiously waiting for some updates on that. We have a pilot production that is progressing intensively. Everybody is hands on deck in the factory. We have a couple of hundred of Z1's units that's currently being prepared for final production. We're doing like a trial production first before we go into the mass production, and we're also going through like testing of the production, line and quality control things, making sure that the machines are up to par and the quality's, at the expected quality that we strive for. And so far, the results has been really positive. We are carrying out final rounds of optimization and refinement for both the molds and the manufacturing processes. So things are happening. And I think maybe one day me and Jason will probably go there and actually show you what's happening on that side. With the new factory being set up and the new staff that's getting employed, so we can actually show you exactly what's going on there. But currently, it's up and down to make sure that we can get everything sorted. And at the same time, the standard parts and the custom components for mass production are being manufactured at full speeds, and things are arriving into the factory in batches. So we expect to begin full mass production and shipping in March, just after the Chinese New Year. So things are happening, and we will share regular production updates as we move into the production phases. So stay tuned.
Yeah, but it's important, just again, as you said, that things are moving along, things are going well, and we're pretty excited with the progress of things. And if anything, some of the slowdowns have really come because we've sort of raised the bar for ourselves, thanks to all the amazing support that you guys have had. But things are going really well here on that. And then to continue that, update on Makera Studio. So Makera Studio is also development is going really well. We're resolving some issues, but honestly, those issues are kind of our own fault, in that we're just keep on trying to put in more and give you guys more features right out of the box. So we're just kind of pushing what the software could be and how great the software could be. And our software development team has grown exponentially. I think when Rolf and I joined the company, I think there was one person when you joined, and there were like a team of 3 people when I joined 3 years ago. And now our software team's like 15 or 20 something people. So it's grown quite a bit, and things are going really well. So we are tonight talking about Makerables. And we're going to open up a public or a private beta test group for Makeraables, which we're going to be talking about a lot. And that is actually open. We opened that today, and we'll tell you all about that. Makera Studio is going to go through a very similar development process, but not till the end of the month into early March. So the goal for Makera Studio has always been to make it publicly released before Z1s are arriving, even though, of course, this is not only for Z1 customers, it's for our Carvera and Carvera Air customers as well. And we're still very much on track for that. So the current estimated timeline for Makera Studio is about the same as what the Z1 is. So expect for our Makera Studio beta to open up in, sometime early-ish March, and then the public release to be happening right around the time of our Z1 shipments as well in March. So everything's coming along. Makera Studio is on its way. The Z1's on its way. And Makeraables is just about here, which, of course, is the theme of today. I think that covered the initial updates there, Rolf. Did we get all those things?
That's it.
Cool. That's awesome. That's awesome. So all good news, exciting things. And let's give everyone some stuff. I think let's do another giveaway before we dive into things. I'm going to tell you guys about Makera points, and then Rolfs is going to give a bunch of points away. So we are giving away Makera points in this live stream. We're going to do 3 rounds of different tiered numbers of points that you can win. And Makera points can be used for a lot of things. I mentioned that you have the some current sales and things like that going on right now. So on our website, you can find our Makera Club page, where you can essentially sign up. It's totally free to make a free account. If you've ordered from us, you probably already have an account if you ever ordered from our website before. And look, there's a lot of benefits. You know, you can earn points with every single purchase from the Makera store. You can redeem points from purchases and different promotions and sales and things like that. You can even get points just by referring people, following us. And as Makerables goes online, you get points for sharing your project on Makerables, and there'll be Makerables contests and things like that too, which is pretty awesome, right? So there's tons of ways. I mean, literally, if you do all this stuff here, you can earn like 1,000 points. Plus, you can win a few thousand points tonight. So that's already a pretty significant thing towards your order. And you can see that you can get, you know, gift cards with your points, accessories, swag, whatever it might be. So this is just a really cool way to reward our users for communicating and collaborating in our community, participating in our contest, doing cool stuff that, again, you can redeem for, like, you know, real hard-earned bits and machines and whatever it is that you want to do with that. So that being said, are we ready to give some points away, Rolf?
Yes, let's give some points away. Let me share my screen over here. Can you see this?
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep,
we're good. Let me just explain to everybody how this will work. Now, obviously, this is for the people that's actually watching this stream. So I'm going to put in a text into this match text toolbar, and then you have to, in the comment section, you can type in this text, and then we'll randomly draw a winner from that. If you are a winner, you need to be subscribed to our YouTube channel, and then just you can email us a screenshot of your account, your YouTube account, to info@makera.com, and then we will get back to you with the points and send you the points right your way.
Yep. And this is for anyone who's watching us on YouTube or Facebook. If you are viewing us on Instagram, thanks for being here. But unfortunately, Instagram chat does not let you enter in our giveaways. But Facebook chat and YouTube chat will let you participate in this giveaway.
All right. So let's give away 3,000 points.
Yep.
And the match text is not that. Hashtag Makerables. Let's go.
Hashtag Makerables. And that's 3,000 points, which equates to a $30 value, folks. So let's get the chat rolling here. I'm seeing a bunch of people coming in. Check your spelling. Make sure we're getting Makerables in there correctly there. And yeah, we're going to get a couple winners right off the bat with this.
I'm not seeing any entries here.
Yeah. How are we doing?
I don't see any entries coming in.
You don't see any entries?
No.
Interesting. Did you hang on, folks? Remember we said no technical difficulties this time around? Did you go back to the giveaway thing? Make sure that you have the right
just
stream
give it
selected.
a refresh, yeah.
Do you have the right? Does it say what's the live stream?
Makerables live. Let's try that again.
Anybody? It's not like we've done this 1,000 times. Still nothing?
Still nothing.
Interesting. All right, let me say. I'm going to try. Hang on, folks. Technical. We want to give you stuff. We swear. Give us 1 second. Let's see if we can do this on our side. Hang on 1 second. Let me go backup plan. StreamYard. Talk amongst yourselves. Rolf is going to tell you something really cool that he's doing right now. Rolf, what are you up to? Go ahead. Tell the users things.
Oh, what I've been doing in my office.
Cutting your hair?
We have cutting hair. That was one of the big things. And you know what I do is test a bunch of things. You people that have, you know, questions about parts, and you know, you want some samples made, things like that. You know, we set up all those type of things behind me, and then we ship them out to you if you need to have samples made up, or you need some G codes tested. We also help a lot with bug finding, things like that. So it's been really busy.
Fascinating. I'm going to save you and stop you because I fixed it. We're back.
You're back?
We're back. I fixed it. Hang on. Please hold. Ready, steady, and hashtag Makerables. We got 78 entries. Guys, do it again.
All
Try
right.
again. Hashtag Makerables. Here we go. We want to give you stuff. Yeah, it's counting up. Woo! All right. Whew.
Good
there
job.
we go. Good stuff. Good stuff. All right, guys. Hashtag Makerables. Here we go. Let's get some entries in there. And again, this is for our first round of giveaways. No idea what that was going on there, but you know, back in the swing of things here.
Yeah,
so,
we do it live. We do it live. You guys see it live.
Indeed. And obviously the one thing we don't practice is giving things away. So
yeah, we don't.
It's kind of hard to practice that one. But anyway, here we go, folks. I'll give you guys another 5 seconds. Looks like we have 230. Here we go. It's counting up there. We're going to give away a bunch of these points right now to a bunch of lucky winners for the first round. And if you don't win right now, stick with us because we do have a number of giveaways, a number of rounds. We're going to do 3 rounds here. So definitely stay with us as we're going. I think that's pretty good. You ready to draw their roll-off? I think so.
Yeah, let's go.
All right, here we go. So we're going to do 5 winners. 5 winners for this first round. So stick with us here. Ready, steady. Winner number 1 is Ron Bass. Congratulations, Ron Bass, 6848. You just won 3,000 Makera points. But you're not the only winner. And those of you that are still entering, you can still enter. I'm going to keep drawing. We're doing 5 here. So that was 1 down. We're going to do 4 more for this first round. Let's go. Albert, congratulations, 5326. You just won 3,000 Makera points. That's 2. I'm going to rapid fire here. Lost a little bit of time there. So I think we'll just ready, steady, rapid fire. And you want to say that one, Roloff?
Netterazak.
Congratulations. You just won 3,000 Makera points. And we're going to do
I got you.
Yeah. We're going to do 2 more. It's good to see some familiar names back on here. So thanks for joining us again. Sir Franco Man, much appreciated. And 1 more winner at this time is going to be, hang on, I lost my mouse. Where's my mouse? There we go. 1 more winner. And Jordian. Congratulations. So remind these folks, how did they get their Makera points there, Roloff?
So if your name was drawn here, you have to be subscribed to our YouTube channel, and then you send an email to info@makera.com with your YouTube account, just a screenshot of that, so we can know it's actually you. And then we will get the points out right to you.
Yeah, or Facebook, YouTube or Facebook.
Yeah.
Cool. Good stuff. So sorry for the minor technical difficulties. Let's hope that that was just behind us now, and we're going to be smooth sailing from this point forward. But that being said, let's talk about Makerables. So I have to say, of all the things that we have in the pipeline, the Z1, Makera Studio, Makerables might be my own personal favorite. From the education side of things, I mean, I love collaborating with you guys. I love chatting. I love sharing different projects, not just giving you like the YouTube video, but sharing the files and the guides and the blog posts and actually showing you how to do this and teaching you how to do it and working with our educators for lesson plans. And Makerables is sort of just, it's not, I don't want to pretend like we just invented a new thing. There's tons of websites out there for you to find 3D models for 3D printing. There's a couple websites out there that'll share things for laser cutting and things like that. There's some great project sharing websites. Like we have an awesome relationship with hackster.io where you can learn how to make stuff and follow different projects and guides. But there really isn't a great community for CNC machining and subtractive manufacturing. Not where you can find, not just technical parts, but really intricate craft things and project things and things for the home and lessons and STEM and all this different robotics education. There's just no community to go for that. So we're excited that we're creating that. And of course, this is with all of our Makera users in mind, which is a huge community that just keeps growing. I mean, obviously there's an additional 7,000 something folks coming in with the Z1, plus, I don't know, the 10,000 plus people we already have with our community from the Air and the Carvera, right? So our community is growing, and we want to give you a chance to be able to share models, collaborate directly with the team, have a place to go for all the cool sample projects and stuff that you see us publish all the time. And again, to enter contests and create stuff, and that's exactly what we're launching here. So Makerables. Now, what I'm showing you is the beta site, So let me pull up Makerables here, meaning that definitely when this goes full public launch, there will be some changes, some tweaks. Right now, everything is sort of like a beta test site. We are also asking our users tonight to help us do the beta testing. So if you haven't already seen, a few hours ago, we put a sign-up form on our Facebook groups and our Discord channel for anyone that would like to participate in the beta group. It is a closed beta. It's a small beta. We're only taking on about 100 people, but we're asking you whether you're a DIYer, a creator, an educator, whatever. We're going to try to get a nice diverse pool of interest with different users of different experiences using different CAM programs and things like that to help us run through all the different features on the back end of Makerables. So that way, when we publish it and it goes live, it is a start, like right out the gate, awesome website for you guys to start to use for creation and sharing and collaboration. So again, the sign up form is on our social media right now. You can find it on Facebook and on Discord to sign up if you're interested in actively participating in this beta. The estimated timeline is about 2 weeks or so. So we'll get back to you sometime next week and we'll do the beta through February. And then the goal is for Makerables to launch sometime in early March once we kind of work out all the final little kinks and things. And that will be like a public beta that everyone can go on and make a free account and start using. So the goal for tonight is for Rolf and I to show you exactly what Makerables can do for you and hopefully get you excited about everything that's coming your way soon. So this is, again, the beta test site. And listen, there's a cool homepage where you'll see some cool like featured projects and things like that. And as I mentioned, this is not only a spot for you to download models, it's hopefully going to be a spot for you to learn and create as well, right? So you'll see in order to upload a file, you kind of have to put together this project, right? And I'm going to show you how to do this tonight. But if I click on this guy here, you'll see this is one of our official sample projects. So anytime we do a YouTube video, a tutorial video from this point forward, instead of putting things on our wiki site, a lot of files and things like that will actually be shared directly on our Makerables site from our official channels, right? So you get to download the files from this. You get, a breakdown on what machine was used, what tools were used, what stock was used, the different tool paths. And, this is really, we're relying on you to help us create some awesome content to help educate users on how you did things and to give you a chance to collaborate with what you do. You'll also see that there's going to be a link to very quickly just open this up directly in Makera Studio. So you can just load this directly into your CAM software to get it up and running and send it over to your machine, which is pretty cool. You'll notice that there's a way to go directly to the store. And if you see somebody was using our bits, you can just click on that and throw it in your cart. So it's going to kind of be this nice little ecosystem. And of course, we're linking you directly to our wiki, our YouTube, our blogs, all that stuff's linked directly on here, which is pretty cool. Now, you'll notice that there's something called AI Craft. That's where you can create stuff. I'm going to hold that till later because we're going to break that down later in the stream. What we're going to look at now are these projects, right? So how could you go about creating a project? Well, this is one that I published when I was testing out the site. So you may have seen this tutorial video before. So again, you can upload a description, you can link videos and things like that. You can break down exactly how this project was created with the different files and things like that. We are sort of hesitant to just upload G-code. If anyone's ever downloaded someone else's G-code, there's a lot that you need to know about that. Like, what were the bits used? What were the feeds and speeds? I would be hesitant to just run someone else's G-code on my CNC machine. So this is a chance for you to actually break down what the code is and help users actually learn how to run that successfully, as well as also share not only the G-code files, but you can, of course, share the CAD files, the CAM files, anything that you're willing to do so to help your users out as they want to go ahead and create with your project, which is all pretty cool. But let's do one, right? So I'm going to click upload. We're going to do a quick project right here. And you're going to see something that's pretty awesome in that, let me grab my NC file to upload. Using Makera Studio, when this goes live, any Makera Studio G-code file that is exported is actually designed to automatically give you some information filled in here. So I'm going to drop this Makera Studio CAM file, NC file in here. And notice what it just did. It read my G-code file from Makera Studio, and it knew the machine I used, it knew the bits that I used, it used the material that I used, and it knew my different tool paths, my roughing path and my finishing paths. And it actually just populated all of that information for me in Makerables just by reading my G-code file. Now, that is unique to Makera Studio, and that, of course, our website knows how to read our CAM software and our studio really well. That doesn't mean you can't upload G-code files from Fusion, VCarve, SolidWorks, Makera CAM. Of course you can. This will take any type of G-code file, any type of CAM file, step file, STL, DXF, whatever. It just means that, of course, if you aren't going to auto-populate that stuff from, let's say, Makera Studio, you'll have to enter this information yourself. But that's really not that difficult to do. You can obviously select your machine. You can select really easily any materials that we have in our store and also do a custom ad where you can add, your own custom stock that you might be working with, right? So you can enter any type of material and things like that you're working with and easily populate that into this project post. But we want to make sharing your project as easy as possible to allow you to create the best and simplest content as possible, right?
Yeah. Can I just jump in there for a second?
Yeah.
For other G codes that comes from different CAM softwares, it won't be able to import it this way, but you can change the post processor of that file, say from, for example, Fusion, to export in the right format to be readable to automatically import the values and the information in here. So it'll definitely be possible. I know there'll definitely be someone that will create the post processor that will make it do that.
Yeah, and that's definitely things to look for in the future. And listen, even if it doesn't do this auto population, it is pretty easy. Just go ahead and drop in the content here as you go. This project that we're doing, guys, that I'm showing you right now is actually another sample project, which you may have seen, which is where we made a chess set using acrylic. What's really cool is that this chess piece that you're looking at in my project that I'm uploading right now is actually one that I made using Makerables, using the AI tools. So listen, I'm cheating because I already wrote this this post. So I wrote all my descriptions and stuff like that ahead of time. So you don't have to watch me spell check myself right now. So I am cheating slightly by copying and pasting from my notes, but hopefully you're seeing that it's pretty easy for me to upload pictures to each step, my description to each step as we go, just to drop in the different components from telling users what each toolpath do, telling users what your speeds and feeds were, and then also your machine settings, right? And the machine settings might specifically refer to, how you actually set up your stock, your work origins. Did you use auto Z leveling? Did you use auto probing or anything like that? Things like that. So that way, again, you can give your users as much information as possible. And this was where you can also upload the raw CAD file too. Like, for example, this is just an STL file that I'm going to go ahead and drop in here and upload. So that was just setting our toolpaths and all this background information for this post here based on this project. And again, a lot of that was populated for me, which was pretty cool. But like Roloff said, even if that wasn't done in Makera Studio, this is more than possible to do with a G-code file from anywhere else. So next tab, we're almost at the home stretch here. Is it an original creation? Yes. Project pictures. Let me find my picture here for my cover. Project picture. And actually, I have another project picture that actually shows me making it in Makerables, which is pretty cool. And let's see, I need a name for this. I said Acrylic King chess piece made with Makerables in the Carvera. Maybe not the most exciting name, I'll be honest, but it works. It works here. Let's see, what is this? Is this a board game or a puzzle? I think it would be a board game, right? For a category.
Chess. I feel chess is a board game.
Yeah. Yep. Users can share it. You can use it for commercial. It doesn't bother me. Go ahead. Power to you, right? Description. Let me drop in my description here. Automatically found the YouTube video from the URL that I linked in there, which is pretty cool. And tags. Let's see. What do I have? I have the Carvera, chess. I like to tag the material, right? Because sometimes I search for, bracelet. Oops, that was auto packed up there. Let's see. What did I do? Fourth axis, acrylic. And let's see, Carvera and Makera official. There you go. And post-process, right? So how do you finish? This is an important step. Like, did I have to cut the tabs or how did I finish this? This one is kind of unique. And if you haven't watched the YouTube video for this, definitely check it out. We actually use a blowtorch to do flame post-processing, which is pretty cool, to actually do some polishing via flames like that, which is pretty sweet. And then if you did have, let's say that you were doing like a robot or something and there was like a parts list, or if you were making a PCB and you had a bill of materials or something and you want to upload another type of document like a PDF or something like that, you could do that as well. That's not really relevant for this project and might not be relevant for every project. But the goal for us is to give you as many avenues for you to share your projects, your information, and build this really awesome, strong community around subtractive manufacturing and CNC machining, like we're fortunate to have in different areas for 3D printing. But again, it's not something that we've really been able to engage with just yet, but it's coming and we're really excited about it. Now, because I'm an administrator, I think mine's actually published and I don't have to go to review. So if we go here, hey, there it is. It's live. So we have our project that we just did together, guys. Thanks for your help. I appreciate that.
Well done,
project
Jason.
Out there, another Makerables project, ready to go, and super easy to find the different things. I should point out, you'll probably know saying, wait, white Delrin round bar. Jason, you used acrylic. Well, I cheated, and I had white Delrin as a preset in my cam, so I just chose that because I knew it was roughly the same feeds and speeds. And in hindsight, I'm going to go back in that and actually change that to be acrylic round bar because I did use acrylic, but it was the same cutting speeds as my Delrin. So I actually was just kind of lazy when I did my G-code there and selected Delrin as the plastic. So that was on me. Not my best moment, but nonetheless, pretty cool. Pretty cool, right?
Very cool. Very cool. Well done.
Thank you. Thank you. And I think, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I think it's as simple as that. You can make it very detailed, but many times you don't need all the extra information. You can keep it pretty full of information, but you don't have to take the big. You don't need fancy photos to take pictures of it. If you give us the concept, you give us an idea, you give us a design, you give us the G-code, just the basics, then you can use that and iterate it. Make your own revisions. It's a collaborative way of working together, and I think it's up to us to build it.
Yeah,
and make it
for sure.
as powerful.
And I think like any of the other sites that are out there for 3D printing or Hackster and all these other cool project sharing sites, it's going to vary, right? Everyone has different types of projects, different types of ideas. The way that you share your content is going to vary. And I think that, like what you just said, the important thing is giving support to those that are trying to learn how to make stuff, right? And getting something out there for them to be able to learn from you. And we just want to give you that avenue. And I'm sure there'll be, we're excited to be able to feature different projects and feature different things created by different users, but we're even more excited to just see this thing grow and different categories of, oh, I'm looking for something that is for my house or a gift or whatever. And you would have the chance to do that without having to try to figure out, how do I make this STL machinable out of aluminum when you're trying to download it from, a 3D print site. We want to be able to give you a better avenue to learn from folks doing similar like-minded things,
So exciting.
Cool.
So
well, listen, I think before we do the AI craft stuff to learn how to design and make with Makerables, let's do another giveaway. So get your keyboards ready. Rolf, do you want to give it a try or you want me to keep rolling with it here?
I think you can just keep rolling with it. I tried it again and I feel, I don't think something's
not
linked
working
correctly. So okay. I think you go ahead.
No worries. So I'm going to pull this up. Why don't you remind everyone, what are we giving away?
Yeah, and now we're kind of moving up a tier. We're going to 6,000 points, which is equivalent to $60. And like I've said earlier, I'll explain it again. To actually redeem your points, you have to be subscribed to our YouTube and Facebook. And you then email a screenshot of your YouTube or Facebook account to info@makera.com to redeem your points.
Yep. So, all right, here we go. Folks, the keyword is what's coming. Hashtag, all caps here, guys. All caps, press caps lock. AI craft. AI craft. Hashtag AI craft. All caps. Not AL. AI.
AI craft.
Is it working? Is it working? Yes.
Yeah, we're going.
I had a moment there. It's like, it's not counting. Okay, good. AI craft. There we go, folks. All caps. Awesome.
I saw a question in the chat. I think someone asked they usually work with step or IGS files. And this is something that you can in Makerables, yes, you can import any type of 3D model format into Makerables. But if you're actually talking about Makera Studio, yes, you can import a step file or a STL file into Makera Studio, which which is if you import a step file, you can actually interact with the different faces. Where with a STL file, it's just one mesh, so you can't really interact.
And also, of course, 2D designs and PCBs. And the cool thing is Makerables will let you, upload any of those types of files that you can drop in the studio too, right? So any of that can be uploaded, which is pretty cool. All right, let's see, 258 entries. What are we doing? We're doing 6,000 points this time. 6,000
points.
Cool. I think we're gonna do. What did we do? 5 last time. I think we're gonna do 3.
We're gonna do 3.
3 lucky winners this time. Here we go. So here we go, folks, and draw. You can still enter while I'm drawing here. So I'm gonna do 3 winners, but the first of 3 is roll up.
Stochastic acceleration.
Good job.
I think I did pretty well, actually.
1021. Good job. Draw again. Next winner. Just trying to keep you awake. I know it's really early in the morning over there.
Yeah. I know there's a few people. I saw there's some other people on here.
Yeah, Taffy KB 679. Congratulations.
Nice.
You
keep it rolling. One more.
6,000 and one more winner. I keep losing my mouse. I don't know how I do that. And here we go. One more winner. I should point out this is not the last giveaway. We're going to do another draw, one final draw at the end. So if you're not about to win, stay with us. They're going to do another draw, our biggest draw. But
Tanner Bolcom,
you just won 6,000 Makera points. So congratulations to all those folks. And just like Roloff said, screenshot your account info, whether it's Facebook or YouTube, send it to info@makera.com, and we will get those points to you. Roloff, let's do some AI craft stuff. I'm going to hand it over to you.
Let's do it. Let me just set this up here. I'm actually going to try to share my whole screen.
Yep.
Share screen.
Cool. Awesome stuff. I'm just going through our comments here.
All right.
Take it away.
How are we looking? All right. So AI craft. So this is Makerables. This is where Jason was talking about all the projects, things like that. You can link up to the store in the next tab. And then the third tab is the AI craft tab. Now, this tool can be used in so many different ways. We're going to touch on a few ways you can use this, but it is up to you guys, how you can use this into making things, how to generate some images, how to generate 3D models, how to generate reliefs, things like that. I'm first going to start with the image. I think we're just going to start with the image and show you ways that you can create images around the prompts. You can also see here, there's a bunch of, the images that you create and you're actually happy with these things, you can actually go down and see what other people have created recently. And you can see this is like wooden reliefs, things like this. This is just an image. So this is not an image of an actual carving. This is just an image for reference. So you can use this and then create either a relief from this or actually a 3D model from this. So let me go into the image generation tab. Now you'll see here, there's generate and there's assets. Now there's
Roloff, you have to switch your tab on the screen share.
Okay, I see.
There you go. Yep.
Okay. So you can see there's a generate option and then an asset option. Now this is things that I've already generated. I'll go through this in a moment. I think we'll just start with kind of giving it a prompt for something that we can actually machine, or something that we can use to create something that we can machine. If you kind of know what I'm trying to explain. So let me do an example here. I'm going to say let's do a metal tag with the name. Give me a name. Anybody?
Jack.
In the chat. Oh, there's a name Jack. Name Jack on it. Add some design details. Let's say some abstract
But folks,
this
while
can
Rolf
be
is doing this, definitely drop some interesting ideas in the chat here for images that you want us to generate. I'm going to keep an eye on that while you're doing that, and I'll see if I can select a few as you're going.
Yeah. That's a good idea. Abstract. Now you can see here, you can type prompts up to 500 words. So you can go as in so much detail, that it's you can need exactly what you want. This is probably still too broad. I'm not going to go. I'm going to see what happens if I just generate this. So, and then you can also generate the scale. This is just in how it is set up, and the width and the height. And then you have image styles, which will just be a general picture. It'll be a low relief, which will be like a low contrast, a high relief with a larger contrast, a line art, a pet 3D, or like a portrait of a person 3D. So I'm just going to start with just a basic prompt like that, a metal tag with the name Jack on it, and then let's see what it does. And the images also generates quite quickly. When I tested it.
I was about to say, it should, but of course.
Yeah, okay, there we go. There's
that was quick. That was pretty quick. What do we get?
So we have, like some abstract design. So this is something I can actually then, I'm just going to download this just for, just so we can use this at a later stage. I just want to mute this. Okay, all right. Let's do something else.
So what I got, we can change here. I'm going to combine a couple things that I got from the chat. Somebody was saying like have it generate a CNC. Somebody said a floral pattern, and somebody said futuristic. So why don't you put those things together? What about a futuristic desktop CNC with a floral pattern? And we'll see what type of chaos that creates.
Futuristic?
I'm just saying. I'm just telling you what the people want, man.
For futuristic CNC with a floral design on the bed.
It's rock and roll.
Let's see what it. Let's change this into like a low relief, or no, actually a high relief. The high relief, just give it some specification, actually to what to make it look like. Let's see what we get here.
Let's see what type of chaos we got. I have
while
another
this is generating. While this is generating,
yeah.
I'll show you what I did previously. Oh wait, there we go.
Oh, I'm excited. Okay, well, floral pattern. I don't think we got the CNC or the futuristic.
Futuristic.
But we were asking for a lot there, guys. I got another one.
Yeah.
You want another crowd one? You want to try something else?
Let's see. Yeah.
I'm gonna throw it on the screen. Kung Fu Golden Retriever.
Golden Retriever.
Let's see what we got. In case you're wondering what Roloff and I have been doing the last 10 days, it's been this.
Let's see.
I'm excited for this.
I'm just going to go back, and then I'm also just going to generate it again as just a normal image, because I'm generating a relief here, a high relief, and then I'm generating a normal picture here. And I think just because it's a dog, let's do it a pet as a 3D model as well. So then we have 3 options with that prompt,
fancy.
with the different.
And it is cool what you're showing is it does queue it into our servers, right? So you can actually continue to generate things and just sort of like let it, because this is going quite fast here, folks. And we're hoping that obviously as we continue to refine it, it's even faster. But I will say that some of the other like 3D model stuff will take a little bit longer too. So this is going quite well, but you can queue it up, which is nice. All right.
Maybe the Kung Fu didn't really get there.
You got the Golden Retriever though. Did it's like it didn't want to give up on the floral pattern. It kept the floral pattern.
Oh yeah. This was just a picture of the dog. Maybe his name's Kung Fu. I'm not sure.
We need a tag.
You see. Okay. Now,
Cool.
so you can put anything together. Obviously, if you go a lot more extensive into the detail, like I said, 500 words, you can go really into so much detail in explaining things. I think maybe Kung Fu Golden Retriever might be a little bit too small to actually, give it something to work on. But let me give you an idea. Something that I just tested earlier. I found an image of, I think the ugliest drawing of a bird I found online. And then what I did here is now I'm actually giving my next prompt, I'm getting an image reference. So I'm going to tell him, make my picture into a real bird. And I will create this as a pet 3D. Let's generate this. And this could be anything that you've sketched with your hands. This can be something that you might have drawn in paint. It's something that you might have taken a picture on the street, or it's anything, something like that.
Any eagle-eyed and dedicated follower will know that we actually had that featured in our Z1 or Z1 promo, where one of our people said, like, I'm going to sketch it. And we turned it into a model. And there were a bunch of comments saying that's not possible, but it is.
So look at that. That's from probably, I'm not sure if you actually saw that tab or the original. Did you see the original picture?
Yeah, I mean, it was small. Yeah, when you brought it up, we saw it. Like when you cropped it, we saw it.
Yeah. So it's a pretty rough picture, and it actually made it into this. Now I can change the color of this bird, but now it actually looks like an actual bird. So what I can do now, I can download this bird. Let me take another one, for example. I'll take Jack. I'll download Jack, and then just going back here. This is another example that I did. I took our Makera logo, just the logo, and I told it, take my logo and put some design decals around it.
That's cool.
And it came out pretty neat. This was a similar prompt. Get some abstract pictures around and all I imported was just the logo of the Makera. All the other things is just generated. So if you have a logo and you want to make some sort of sticker, or you want to CNC some kind of designs or things around something that's already existing, like a logo, you can also use this as that. This is also a relief that I made. I just gave it the logo. I told it make it a floral leaf, and it came out. And I also made a I made a bow, and that's actually my face over there. So that's another way you can. That's me.
And you're putting your face on is that a US dollar? Is that not?
I believe so.
Yeah, I believe so. All right then.
Yeah. And so you can use this in that way as well. So if I have a picture of myself, if I give it let me just grab a picture of me. This is such a pretty picture. I can get a relief made of myself, and this can be a picture of a family, of your family, it can be a picture of you, Jason, with your dog, with your whole family. It can be any picture. Let's say make me into a cartoon.
And now we're still in image generation now. So when you're talking about reliefs, you just mean it's creating like a depth perspective on this 2D image.
Yeah. So this looks like a relief, but it's actually a 2D image. But because it looks like a relief, it's got the contrast that you need to actually create a relief from. So we'll get on the relief generation now. Look, and there we go. That's me as a cartoon character.
Look at you. Look at you. I like it.
It's got quite a chin on that guy. So let me download this, and then I'm going to go back to AI Craft, and now I'm going to go to relief generation, and I share this tab. Okay, so now it looks very similar to the image generation, but now we're going to create reliefs from what we just created. So we will add an image like we did previously. here is, let's take the bird, for example. This is the bird that we have had a sketch of, and now we have the image of the bird. And now from this bird, this is just the image type that you have to select. It can either be a depth map already, or it can be general. This is just a general picture, so I'll just generate a 3D relief.
Right.
And I'll keep that going. Let me go back. And then I'm going to do another one. Let's do...
Just to help explain for some folks what we're doing now, right, is like you generated these images, which is basically your CAD design, you know, that you generated. And you're now dropping it into this relief generation, which is going to create this three-dimensional STL file. And that STL would be a 3D file that you can actually use to create, you know, an actual carving or relief. Some folks were asking earlier saying that they wanted to create coins and things like that. So you can utilize this relief file that's generated. So yes, you can just drop in any type of design that you might create into this relief generation, and it will create this 3D depth map for you. Or you can also do what Roloff just did and actually use Makerables to generate the images that are being used to create the 3D depth map. So it's sort of this two-step process, but you could just come in with, you know, a picture that you already have to generate it into being this three-dimensional relief, this three-dimensional depth map, which I think is one of my favorite things to do. I know whenever we go to a lot of events, people see like 3D carvings like this. You know, I don't know if you guys can see that, but this is like one of our sample projects. And they're always like, wow, how did you model this? How did you CAD that? And I'm like, that was just made from a photograph, like a 2D picture created this 3D carving. And it's exactly that right there.
Yeah. And now, the bird that I originally had just a rough pencil sketch from is now a 3D relief. And you can set the material to it to be like wood or whatever you need it to be. And now you have something you can actually play with and actually machine. You'll export, you'll download this, and this will be a STL file. And you can even 3D print this. You can CNC this. You can use this. You can take this into a CAD software. You can modify it even more. So there's lots of ways that you can use this. Like I said, we're just touching on a few ways that you're using this. And then, you know, you can also even pull this. You can even... This was the face. Yeah, this is him. This is
Blocky
me.
Chin. You know, that's actually looking pretty good as a relief. That would carve nicely.
Yeah.
You should make that on a piece of brass.
Yeah.
Give it out to people.
Yeah. I like a coin. I'd like my face on a coin. Let's see how Jack turned out.
That's pretty cool. That is
now
pretty
cool. Now you see here the chain. We actually have a chain in the picture. There was a chain. So in the prompt, you will say no chain because now you have this little odd little section over here. So you have to be very specific in exactly what you want. But that's a good looking chain. You export this, you put this on a piece of metal, you paint it black, you sand it over. It's going to look exactly like
the picture. And if you click on that, right, you can show folks how you can actually adjust, you know, the depth of it and things like that too, which is pretty cool.
Yeah,
so
you can adjust
all that.
Yeah. Sometimes you don't want it as thick and as bulky. You just want a slight engraving, which will be like a low relief. And you can stretch it. You can modify it.
Yep. That's all pretty cool.
Yeah.
Nice stuff, Roloff. Thanks for sharing that. I like it. I think for the sake of time here, let's move on to the third and final AI craft component. So I'm going to take over if that's all right with you.
Yeah, you go.
All right. So let me find my screen here, folks. I'm going to share my whole window. Screen 2. Cool. So here we go. So AI craft, the last component of AI craft is 3D generation. And this is one that our team has been working on for quite a while. And unlike what you just saw with Roloff, is that it actually creates a three-dimensional STL file, which I guess, well, let me rephrase that. The relief was also a three-dimensional STL file, but it was all a 2D flat file. This is like a full 3D part file. You can generate it from an image. So for example, you could use the image generation tools that Roloff just did to create an image for you to then turn into a 3D model. You can also generate with a prompt. So you guys saw me do this post earlier where I create a chess piece. Let's say that I just need, you know, what did I do? A king chess piece, right? I could enter that as a prompt and it would go ahead and generate me a 3D model. And for the sake of time, I did prepare one earlier, right? So you can actually see this. Now, this one was actually generated from an image, right? So let's say that I lost one of my chess pieces. I could snap a photo of the piece that I lost, assuming that you have two, right? A black one and a white one for a set of chess, and you didn't lose both kings. But let's just assume you only lost one king. You can snap a photo of it or find a picture on the internet and go ahead and generate that based on, that image, which is pretty cool. I was really excited about the dog comment earlier because I do have a dog. And I like to try to generate a model. And I've always had a dream of machining my dog out of solid aluminum or something like that. But listen, while my CAD skills are pretty good, I'm more of a parametric CAD designer. I'm not great at the whole mesh, hyper-realistic CAD work. So I was like, you know what? Let me try to generate a model of my dog. So this is the first picture that I grabbed. And if you're saying aw at home, good for you. He's cute. So this is the first picture I grabbed. But you'll notice, like, he's out of focus, right? Like his body's out of focus. So I wasn't expecting much. And I'll be honest, I got a somewhat okay result. So this is the 3D model that was generated. From there, it actually looks really good, right? Like it looks pretty good from the perspective of the image, but his body's a little, he's looking a little greyhound, but he's more like a pit. So the proportions were a little off, and I was a little disappointed about this, although it is pretty cute from right there. I do like that. But then I was thinking, let me be a little bit more selective with my photo. And I found this picture of my dog where you can obviously see way more of his body. And I went and I generated that as well. And that one came out pretty perfect. I'm really excited about this. So this is going to be a tutorial coming soon where I'm going to try to figure out how to machine this guy out of solid aluminum or something like that, which is pretty cool. So I was pretty impressed with this. But listen, the prompts are pretty cool. So like, for example, you may have seen our owl ring tutorial before. This is literally a prompt where you'll notice that I said a ring with an owl's face on it, and it generated a pretty cool ring. And you do have some different tools here to actually edit the scale of this. So if you want to change the size of this, if you want to change the proportions of this, but obviously a lot of that can actually be adjusted later on in the cam stages too. So if I did want to resize this around my stock or whatever it is, I could just download this model and resize that at the cam stages. The final thing I want to show you, here is our chess piece from that prompt that we did earlier that just finished generating. So there is my king chess piece that was generated there, which is pretty cool. The final thing I want to show you is actually what Roloff did, and that's sketches. I went online and I found 2 sketches of a car. So I found this sketch, which is pretty basic, and it generated a pretty cool, simple car model, which I liked, So that was actually pretty cool, just based on that picture there. You can see the reference image in the bottom right-hand corner, that I got that cool 3D model that could potentially be machined. And then I found a much more complex sketch, lots of shading on this one, right? And that generated this model, which I'm thinking about making. I have to do some modifications in this one. I have to do some cleanup. You'll notice that like the shading and stuff like that is in here. But I think if I clean this up, I can actually make a pretty cool little wood car for my son, which I'm pretty excited about. So there's a lot of cool things that you can do with the Makerables AI craft tools. And just to emphasize what the intention of this is we work with such a wide range of users, which we're super excited about. We have folks that are coming in, with decades of CNC machining experience that are like, I can design anything and your machine has to follow along with my designs. And then we have some folks that are like, I have this really cool idea, but I don't know how to get started. Makerables is really the site that we're excited to launch to give you guys the chance to collaborate with one another, teach each other, share models with each other, show how to do these things. And if you do need that leg up, or if you need that inspiration, or you need that tool to help you get from point A to point B, these AI craft tools are now going to hopefully let you get there, where you might have this part, but you have no idea how to model it. This can help. Or you might have the modeling abilities and you have this really cool 2-dimensional design, but you need help turning it into that 3D relief. There's so many different things that you could do with this that, to be honest, we're not entirely sure all the things you can do with it. We're just excited to put this tool out there and to see what you guys start to create with it, as well as collaborate with it too, which is something that's coming in the pipeline that we're pretty excited about.
Super exciting. And yeah, it's just great to be part of something that we're building together, and we have to make it we have to make it great together with you guys watching. And it's so powerful. Yeah, it's so powerful. It's the uses are limitless.
Yeah, I'm sure it's going to get better. So with that, folks, we're almost out of time. We're actually right on time. So let's do one final giveaway, the big one. And then we got some quick things to close out, a couple quick reminders. But here we go, folks. I'm going to share my screen for just the last time here.
And this last
more giveaway. Get those keyboards ready. I think you guys know what you got to do, right? Follow us, subscribe to us on Facebook, YouTube, etc. This one is going to be hashtag beta, capital B, hashtag beta, because as mentioned, the reason we're doing this stream is we need your help. We need your help. So while we wait for folks to enter this hashtag beta, I'm going to remind you about the beta community group that we're looking for right now. So again, if you are excited about Makerables and if you would like to help us do everything we just did, test it in and out, find any last little bugs and things like that and glitches, and also help us improve the user experience side of things before we launch this and before we hand this over to all of our users, we're looking for a small group of folks to join us in the beta group. And you can find the sign up form for that on our Facebook groups and in our Discord group. And again, that is exactly that. We want to give you guys early access to what you just saw, so that way you can give us feedback on it, help us improve it, test it out, make sure it's working. We're looking for users that have a lot of experience, users that have a little bit of experience, users that use Makera Studio, users that use Fusion and VCarve and SolidWorks. And we want a lot of different types of files to be uploaded, because while our team's been working super hard on this, we're sure that there's still ways that we can make it better before we let this site go live. So if you are interested in joining the beta, please look into that. And and again, as I mentioned, Makera Studio is coming in just a few weeks with its own beta. So keep an eye out for that, because I'm pretty sure the next stream, that's what we'll be talking about. So we can get that out there and get that tool into your hands as well. So definitely stay tuned for more updates on that. With that, final draw, we're going to do two winners, and this is for 10,000 Makera points, which equals $100 value. $100 value here, folks. 10,000 Makera points. Last two winners of the evening. Sid Looking Bill 4642. Congratulations. You are our second to last winner of the evening, and the final winner is, let's see, lots of winners tonight. Lots of winners. New Year's sale.
Yeah.
Giveaways. Jeff
Botas.
4408. Congratulations. You are our final winner of the evening. As a reminder to Jeff here and all of the winners, that you just have to screenshot your account info, whether that was on YouTube or Facebook, send that to info@makera.com, and we will get you your points, and you can use those points and the exclusive live stream code Makera with our current sales.
Yeah. And just a reminder, the sales is the Spring Festival sale. It's from the February 10th to February 27th, where you can save up to 20%, get free gifts if you buy a machine. Yeah.
Cool stuff. Awesome stuff.
Great stuff.
So listen, thanks for hanging out with us. We appreciate it. Much appreciate your collaboration, your support. We had a ton of people on here with us. Again, consider looking for that sign up group. If you want, it should be in the Carvera groups on the Facebook page, as well as the Discord channel as well. Yeah. So definitely make sure you can find that if you'd like to participate. And if you don't want to participate, that's not a problem at all. Stay tuned, because once we're done with this beta in a couple weeks, this site will be live and accessible for everybody. So with that, Roloff, it was great seeing you again. This is fun.
Great to
Thank
see
you for your support, as always.
I'll see you next time.
Yeah, I'll see you soon. So folks, stay tuned for more, and cheers, everybody. Thanks, everyone.
Bye, everybody.